Her toes curled over the balcony edge. 6 years old, fragile legs trembling against the rail. I froze. The world narrowed to her small body swaying in the air, her hands clutching the iron as though it were the only thing holding her upright. "Stop!" My voice came out low, almost a whisper. She turned. Her face was pale, her eyes too old for her age. She gave me a look I will never forget, half sorrow, half resignation. "Mommy told me to disappear," she said softly, "because I'm in the way." The words cut deeper than any blade. I stepped forward carefully, measured. My hand reached for her, but my mind shattered. Disappear. In the way. And then, as I looked closer, I saw something else. Bruises that didn't belong to accidents. A stiffness in her jaw when she spoke, and a sadness no child should ever carry. Something was very wrong, and I knew this wasn't just about a balcony. Later, when she was safe in bed, I sat in the dark replaying her words. My sister-in-law had always been cold, but this was different. This was intent. A mother telling her daughter to vanish? I wanted to dismiss it, to believe the child had misunderstood. But the bruises spoke louder than denial. The emptiness in her eyes told me everything I didn't want to admit. I thought of the dinners, the polite smiles, the way her mother dismissed her interruptions with sharp looks. I remembered the phone calls that ended abruptly when I entered the room. The secrecy, the detachment. Had it always been there? And had I been blind? A quiet sickness grew inside me. Not just anger, betrayal. Because this wasn't neglect. It was something else. A choice. I began to watch. Not obviously. Silence is stronger than suspicion. I noticed how she flinched when her mother entered the room, how quickly she shrank into herself, like prey recognizing the shadow of a predator. I checked the phone records. Numbers dialed late at night, deleted in the morning. I traced one of them. A man. A hotel. The picture unfolded piece by piece. While her daughter battled a broken body and a broken spirit, she lived a second life, a double life. And the child? The child was an obstacle to be erased. My niece was not simply in the way. She was in the way of her mother's freedom, her secrets, her carefully constructed lie. Each discovery tightened something inside me, pulling it like wire against flesh. But I never confronted. Not yet. Patience is sharper than rage. The final proof came in a recording. I had placed a small device near the balcony door. One night, when the house was quiet, I played it back. Her mother's voice. Calm, venomous. "You don't belong here. You're broken. If you disappear, everything will be better. For me, for you." The child's small sob, the silence that followed. It was enough. Enough to destroy, enough to expose. The next morning, I set the recording on the table in front of her. She froze as her own voice filled the air, her carefully constructed mask shattering piece by piece. Her face went white, then red, then desperate. "This, you don't understand." I didn't speak. I just watched. Cold, steady, unblinking. She broke in front of me. "I know everything," I said finally, voice quiet but lethal. Her excuses tangled, drowned in their own dishonesty. She pleaded, she reached for justification, for pity, but I had none left to give. I leaned forward, lowering my voice so she felt every word. "You tried to bury your daughter in silence. You told her to vanish. But now it's you who will disappear." Her eyes widened. She realized then that I had already acted, that copies of the recording had been sent to my brother, to the authorities, to the people who mattered. Her empire of secrecy collapsed in a single breath, and she knew she was finished. When they took her away, she screamed, not for her daughter, not for forgiveness, but for herself. I didn't watch long. I turned back to the child waiting upstairs, her small hands clutching the blanket, her eyes questioning. "You're safe now," I told her. My voice was calm, almost detached. She needed steadiness, not fire. And as she drifted into sleep, I sat beside her, silent. No pity for the woman who birthed her. No grief for the lies uncovered. Only clarity. Because some betrayals do not end with forgiveness. They end with exposure. And exposure is enough. She told her daughter to disappear, yet in the end, it was her own face that vanished from this house forever.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.